Hello friends, so today we are going to talk about displacement, velocity and acceleration diagram when the follower moves with simple harmonic motion. So before going into this topic, first you have to know about 3 points, three things, that is rise, dwell and return. These 3 points are the most basic points. These are most basic in the cam profile, or say these are the strokes: rise stroke, dwell and return stroke. What happens when, how to show this? Okay, let us first draw this. How to show this? This is the rise thing. Okay, now if we will return, then we will show like this. But if there is dwell in between that, then there will be a constant straight line. There will be no backing line like this. There will be straight line, and then it says that there is return, then return. So if it says that it rises for the 90 degree or 70 degree, then after that 30 degree dwell, and then it says again that there is 40 degree return, then we have to complete these paths in the given intervals. So this is very easy thing, but once you will get, then it will be very easy for you. Now let us get back to the topic: displacement, velocity and acceleration diagram when follower moves with simple harmonic motion. So first of all, we have to do this. We have to draw a semicircle. This is the stroke length, and the semicircle we have draw. First of all, we have draw this semicircle, and then this line. This is a method for this. Okay, now as I have told you about the rise, dwell and return stroke, so first of all we have to show how much rise that does it takes, then how much dwell, and then the return thing. Okay, the return. Now you could divide, we have divided semicircle in even number of lines. Okay, so you could divide it into 6 parts or 8 parts or 10, but we will use 6 of it will be easy for us to draw. Okay, so let us draw it. Say 1 2 0 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, now we will do this using a protractor while drawing a diagram. This is it. Now as we have taken as we have divided it into 6 parts, so we have to draw over here 6 vertical lines to divide the rise stroke. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 it is 5 4 5 and 6. This is for the rise. And dwell, you can take any amount for dwell. It is not required to take the specific length for this. Then the return stroke, again we have to take this 6 lines for this. So let us draw 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so it is 6. Now 6 5 4 3 2 1 0. Now take a scale and make a straight line using this path. As I am doing a rough sketch, so it is not that good, but we have to use a scale for this. Okay, now while doing the numerical, it is important that we have to mark out how much length do we have to take in the rise and how much in the return, because if it is given as 120 degree rise and says 60 degree return. Okay, now the length and the numbers are same, 6 and 6 over here, but how much we will take the length. So let us say that we are taking 1 centimeter. We are divided into 6 parts. Okay, so 1 centimeter equal to 20 degrees. Okay, sorry, let us do it again. Let us say we are taking 1 centimeter equal to 20 degree. Okay, this is 20 20 20, then it will complete over here as 120 degrees. Understand? Now what happens in this, if we will take it as 20 degree 1 centimeter 20 degree, then what will happen? 20 20 20 60 over here completes it completes over here. So we have to divide it into 6 parts. So one slab would be, one unit would be 10 degrees for here, and here 1 unit equal to 20 degrees. So how we can do this? For that you need to know the unitary method. It is very simple. Say it is 20 degree over here, so how much 1 degree? 1 degree will be 1 by 20. So for 10 degree it would be 10 into 1 by 20. So we have to take 0.5 centimeter for 1 unit in this return stroke, and 1 centimeter for the rise stroke. And dwell, you don't have to take any tension about the dwell. You can take any amount for the dwell. Okay, and it will be even more clear when we'll do the numericals. Now for the same, let us draw the velocity diagram. So velocity diagram follows the sine rule, and the acceleration diagram follows the cosine rule, cosine curve. So we will see in the diagram, it will rise over here, and then for dwell there is nothing, then again for return this is like this. So here we can see that at the beginning and at the end it is minimum. Okay, so it is 0 and it is 180 degrees. Okay, and it is maximum at the mid. So in the velocity diagram, this is velocity diagram. Okay, so this is at the 90 degree. So in sine curve it is maximum at the mid at the 90 degree, and same here in the return stroke it is 90 degree and it is maximum. Now let us draw the acceleration diagram. For the acceleration diagram, it would be maximum at the beginning and minimum at the mid. Okay, here it is maximum. Okay, it is maximum, it is 0 degrees, and it is 90. Cos 90 we know it equal to cos 90 equal to 0, and again 180, cos 180 equal to -1. Okay, so this is the maximum value. These are the maximum values, and this is the minimum value for the cosine in the terms of magnitude. Okay, similarly we can draw it for the return stroke, and this would be like this. Something, it will not intersect over here. There is a lack of space, because of that I have did that. Okay, so this is it, and now let us move on to the derivation of it. And in the next lecture, in the next video, I will show the numerical on this topic. Suppose this is a circular path that is followed by the follower, and suppose this is the point. There is some point P on this path, and this is the P dash, and this is the diameter for this. This would be S, or say the stroke. Okay, this is the diameter for this, and suppose this is rotating at angular velocity omega p. Now what would be the velocity at p? It would be Vp. So we have to find out this velocity Vp for the maximum of the outstroke and the return stroke. Now the time required for the outstroke, that would be T0, To. Okay, that would be equal to angular displacement of the outstroke to the angular velocity. Okay, now what would be the peripheral velocity? So this would be given by this equation. Peripheral velocity Vp equal to pi s by 2 into 1 by T0. This is obtained by the equation Vp equal to r omega. Here r is equal to s by 2 and omega, you can solve this. Okay, now from above we can see that 1 upon T0 equal to omega upon theta naught. So pi s by 2 omega upon theta naught. So Vp equal to pi s omega upon 2 theta naught. So this is the velocity for the maximum velocity for the outstroke, and this will be the same for the return stroke. Okay, now what would be the centripetal acceleration? Okay, centripetal acceleration, we know that centripetal force equal to F is equal to mv square upon r. So what would be the acceleration? It would be v square upon r. So Vp square upon r would be the acceleration AP, and we know s equal to r equal to s by 2. Okay, so pi s omega upon 2 theta naught divided by s by 2, squaring this, and we will obtain what? Okay, we will obtain this for the acceleration at the peripheral acceleration, and this would be the outstroke, and this will be the same for the return stroke. And this is also called the maximum acceleration for the return stroke, maximum acceleration for the outstroke. Similarly, here it is the maximum velocity for the return stroke and the maximum velocity for the outstroke, and this is the derivation for this. And this is all about the displacement, velocity and acceleration diagram when follower moves with simple harmonic motion. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, then give a thumbs up, and we'll do a numerical on this topic in the next video. So thank you for watching. Do like and share.